Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Marching In with Casseroles. This one is one of my casseroles. Let me move this bowl down here before it falls. One of my casseroles I did last year for Marching In with Casseroles, but I've changed it up a little bit this year. It's basically a broccoli and ranch chicken casserole. The broccoli and a few of the other ingredients are new additions this year. So what you really need to do is, I have two chicken breasts that I just sauteed off. I like a little brown on the chicken, gives it some flavor. This is also one of those recipes that, for those of you who have been listening to me and listening to everybody else and been stocking up and canning, this would be a good recipe for your canned chicken. So you could use 2 pints of that, or if you did in quarts, 1 quart of the canned chicken, and you'd be right ready to go where I'm at now. Chicken's cooked, your chicken be cooked, it'd be perfect. So if you guys aren't stocking up and you guys aren't canning, you really need to be. I just literally went to the grocery store this morning just to get some broccoli that I needed, and they had a 10-pound bag of rice on sale, and flour was like $1.55 for a 5-pound bag. So I grabbed it and got my Mylar bags out. I put those up, so I got 3 or 4 more bags of rice put up, and I think 3 bags of all-purpose flour. So just keep stocking up a little bit at a time as you can. Buy canned goods, put them on your shelf in the pantry. They'll last, for a while. Everything's going up in price. Gas prices, I think I paid $4.19 Tuesday, and today it was $4.49 when I drove by. So it's getting crazy out there. So we all got to help out and just do what we can do. Most of these things you can, in this recipe, you can find in your pantry. Just rice, broccoli may be in your freezer. Half and half. I'm using a ranch mix, my homemade ranch mix, but you can use a packet of the ranch mix if that's what you have. That's easy to do. If you want to know how to make my ranch mix, I'll put a link down below. I don't think I did a whole video, but I did in one of my videos. But I'll put a link to the recipe down below too. It's real easy to make, and it lasts forever. It's great for, I think, yesterday I did dip with some chips. I used some sour cream ranch mix. Tasted delicious. But I've also got chicken stock, seasonings. I've got oregano, basil, thyme, rub sage, and a little garlic powder. I'll put all those amounts down below in the description and on my website, gregs-kitchen.com. I always link to that, so if you want to print out the recipe, you have that. Got 2 cloves of garlic is what I put in the recipe. I may have 3 or 4 cloves of garlic here. I love garlic, so we're going to get a little bit extra. Some cheese and butter and breadcrumbs. So let's put this together. I've got my 9x13 baking dish. I'm just going to spray it so everything won't stick to that. I'm going to put my pre-cooked chicken in there. And like I said, you could use your ugly chicken that you've canned. I call it ugly chicken because it doesn't always look real pretty in the canned jar, but it tastes delicious. And it is so convenient. So I'm just going to put that along the bottom there, spread it out a little bit. If you want a little extra chicken, you can put a little extra, 3 breasts, or if you want less, you can do less. Okay, over top of this, I'm just going to put my 1.5 cups of white rice. I'm just going to spread it out kind of evenly because it's not going to move around in there. It's just going to absorb all the liquid we're going to put in. So we want it kind of evenly spread so it's everywhere. So now let's combine all of our ingredients that we're going to put in here. First, I got 2 cups of chicken stock. And yes, I used my chicken water with my Better Than bouillon. I like that. And so I used 2 cups. I use about a heaping teaspoon in each cup. So 2 heaping teaspoonfuls. And I've got a cup of half and half. If you don't have half and half, you can use heavy cream and milk. That's why it's half and half. It's half heavy cream, half milk. You can do that as well. If you don't want it as rich, you can just use plain milk. You can use 2% milk. Heck, if you want, you can use almond milk. I wouldn't, but you could. I've got a small onion that I diced up. I'm just going to put that in here. And my cloves of garlic that I minced. All of my seasonings. Let me dry off my hand. That onion. I'm just going to season a little bit with salt and pepper. That better in bouillon, I got the reduced sodium, so it's not going to have a lot in there. And I'm going to bring this together. Give me a spoon here. Try to get something that's not going to make a lot of noise. I'll just use a spatula because I'm going to need it to get it all out. So I'm going to put in my 2 tablespoons or 1 packet, or yeah, tablespoons of ranch. I go through this stuff like crazy. Let's mix that all in there. I'm going to put, I got 2 cups of cheddar and Monterey Jack. I'm going to put about 3/4 of it in there. I'm going to save about ½ cup, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that afterwards. It's all in. Now I'm going to take my broccoli and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the chicken and the rice. I'm going to spread it out so it's distributed pretty well, evenly across the dish. A little water in here. I just rinsed it off this, cleaned it up a little bit. We're not going to pour that extra water in there. And we're going to bake this. I've got the oven preheated at 350 degrees. We're going to bake it for 30 minutes covered, and then we're going to uncover it, and I'm going to mix my breadcrumbs with the cheese, put that on top, pat it with a little butter, because butter makes everything better, and then we'll put it back in the oven for another 30 minutes. So let's pour this over, try to get it kind of even with all those onions, cheese. Spread this out. Sorry, my fingers are clean. It's easier to do with my fingers. There we go. A little bit over there. Now let me rinse off my hands. Clean up a little bit here. Now I'm going to cover the casserole. Like I said, bake it for 30 minutes covered. Then take it out and put on the topping and bake it for another 30 minutes. This is one delicious casserole. You guys are going to love it. So let me get this in the oven, and I'll be back when I pull it out and we put over the cheese and the breadcrumbs. Okay, so the first 30 minutes is done. So let's take this out. Ooh, it smells good. And we're going to uncover it. Looks good too. So we still have that ½ cup of cheese. I'm going to put about a cup of breadcrumbs in here. And I'm also going to put a little bit, about 1 tablespoon of the ranch mix. This is totally optional. I just like the flavor all throughout the entire casserole. And we'll put about ½ teaspoon of salt. Let's just bring those all together. Might as well use my fingers because we're going to use our fingers to put it on the casserole. Turn this around here. And then just evenly distribute this across the top of the casserole. Like I said, we're going to bake this another 30 minutes and uncovered. Melt this cheese on top and brown and crisp up these breadcrumbs. Maybe 3/4 of a cup might be better, but nice and thick layer, it's going to be good. Now I'm going to take my stick of butter that I have sliced up into little pats, and I'm just going to put this all over the top. Not only is it going to add flavor, it's going to add a color for the browning of the breadcrumbs, mainly the flavor, which I like. Can't go wrong with butter. You can leave it off if you want. You can also take your spray, nonstick spray, and spray the top. That'll do the same, kind of like you would in using for your sorry, getting almost there. Kind of like you would use for your air fryer. So now I'm going to just put this back in the oven for another 30 minutes, and we'll be back when it's done. Okay, so the second 30-minute time has ended. Ooh, hot heat. Let me get this out. Oh, wow. Kitchen smells wonderful. This looks beautiful. So to recap, we did 30 minutes covered at 350 degrees, and then we uncovered it and put on our topping with the breadcrumbs, the cheese, a little bit more of the ranch seasoning mix, a little salt. Spread that over, patted it with butter, and baked it for another 30 minutes uncovered. And it is just bubbling up around the edge. It looks wonderful. Let me see if I can get some out here. I can smell that chicken. Wow. Smells great. Get a spoon here. You can see it's steaming up. I like the crunchiness on top from the breadcrumbs. That's why I like to put those on there instead of just cheese. Give this a taste. Look at that steam. It's very hot, but this tastes amazing. It tastes that ranch, buttermilk ranch all the way through it. This one's another keeper. So don't forget, we have 11 other channels in the collaboration. We're only halfway through the month, not even that yet. And we have a bunch more really good ones coming up in the next 2 weeks. On the 31st, I'll be doing the drawing for the crockpot slow cooker casserole. And to get into that, just remember you have to go to everyone's videos. Playlist is down below, and all their channels is linked down below in the description. Just watch their videos, like, subscribe, and don't forget to put a comment, because the comments are what we're going to use to draw and get the winner. So again, thank you for joining us with our Marching In with Casseroles. This is my chicken broccoli ranch casserole. I'm sure you guys are going to like it. Let me know down below in the comments if you change anything up, how you like to do your chicken and rice casseroles. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.